What this says to me is it's illegal to aid and abet criminals, and California is in violation of federal law, and the people who aid and abet the criminals should be charged in whatever capacity we have codified laws.
Are we
going to
do that? Are we going to start arresting governors and mayors?
I mean, I'm getting a little excited. Yeah. What is Michael Malice's T-shirt? Governors for Gitmo.
Gitmo.
I think normally I would say if the state made a choice, interstate, just leave it to the state, unless it's like a horribly egregious moral, dilemma. But because these people cross state lines to get there,
that's the problem.
Fair enough. But and also the United States is charged with protecting the borders, first of all, and second of all, the United States also has like the supremacy clause. Laws that are made by the United States take supremacy over state laws. So when the United States says it is illegal to enter the United States without proper documentation, that's a law that the whole country has to abide by.
I don't necessarily know that you arrest a governor, but you pull funding from California.
Pull that funding. They have so much money, and they brag about how much better they are. They have so much money. We have so much industry. Put your money where your mouth is.
I don't think we're going to end up arresting governors, but the left has set the precedent here. I mean, they arrested a president, a former president, and tried to put him in prison. So why not? I mean, they've done the most extreme version of that it's possible to do by trying to put a president in prison.
Why do they protect murderers who are here illegally? I understand there's sob stories. There's people who bring their kids across. You're 11 years old. Why are we protecting murderers?
It's called restorative
There was
justice.
also, 154 Democrats voted not to deport illegal immigrants who are accused of sex crimes.
But aren't legal murderers also bad? Like murder bad? This is like such a very simple...
We had Ro Khanna on, and he voted against the Laken Riley Act. And he said his concern was that it allows the deportation of someone just for being arrested. And, we didn't really get into it, but I'd like to say to him, at least now, but they're here illegally.
Right.
So that's what we do when this is the crazy thing. Like the argument is the Laken Riley Act is anyone here unlawfully who also commits these crimes, burglary, theft, or whatever, if you are arrested, then they're to be detained by Homeland Security and deported. And his argument is, but they've not been tried. They've only been arrested. We're not deporting them for committing burglary. We're deporting them because we've arrested them. They are in violation of the law already, and we deport people here illegally. That's it.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, it's
there you go.
And to your question about why would you protect murderers? But part of it is on the left. It's like they're not, and we've seen this. They don't get very angry about violent crime.
It's
they're not
crazy
because and the reason for that is that I mean we had this notion. You're going back, even when I was a kid, we heard about you don't hear the term very often anymore. A bleeding heart liberal.
Yeah.
And the idea was that if you're on the left, your problem is that you're overflowing with too much compassion. You're too sensitive, and then we got to the sensitive snowflake thing But that was never true. It's actually on the left. They are cruelly indifferent, in fact, to suffering. And so when they hear about a violent murderer, they don't feel the innate rage and anger that everyone at this table feels because they just don't care that much. And then that's why their compassion for criminals, it's a very cheap compassion because it is they could talk about forgiveness and let them be rehabilitated. Well, it's because you don't actually care. You're not actually angry about what they did.
Yep.
Wanting to harshly punish criminals is that comes from a place of love and a thirst for justice that I think they just don't.
Most modern leftists don't value life.
I think they hate humanity,
and they'll stand on dead bodies to promote whatever they want.
Why is it just like a disassociative? Like it hasn't happened to me, so it doesn't sound that bad from a distance.
I'd like to point out an example that Phil had tweeted before, where they show results of a study that found that conservatives tend to have compassion for their friends and their family and the people around them. And Democrats and liberals tend to have compassion for inert objects like rocks. I am not being mean. That's the literal language of the study. Democrats have compassion for inert objects. That's what it said. And how do we clarify that into layman's terms? Democrats care about don't blow the mountaintop off that, it's bad. We don't like that mountaintop being damaged. Don't chop down those trees. Conservatives are like, please stop abusing these children.
In Starship Troopers terms, the left loves the bugs.
Yes, that's a really good way to put it.
Well, you know what? It's like this inversion, because the natural human thing is to care the most about the people that are very closest to you.
Yes.
And you know, so your spouse, your children, if you're married, those people that you care the most about them in the entire world of all people. You prioritize them. And then from there, you have kind of your extended family, your friends, and then your community, your immediate community, and then your state, and then your country. And then far, far down the line, you care about like the whole nation, all the nations of the world. And that's the natural thing. But on the left, they've kind of demonized that approach because if you look at it that way, then you're small-minded and you're bigoted and you're nativist and you're all these things. And so they flip it around so that their compassion immediately goes to the broadest place.
Furthest away.
Right. They talk about the world and humanity.
And they don't
people.
have children, which
Right.
helps with the inversion because there's nothing close to them to love.
And the thing is that
Nor
and then
future.
even like climate, I care about the climate. And well, it's like caring about that, it means nothing and it costs you nothing because you can't, I can't do anything about the climate. I can't do anything about humanity. I can't save humanity. I can care for my children, and that takes like a daily effort and sacrifice. And so they'd rather not do that. Instead, they'd rather sit back and just talk in the abstract about how they love all people everywhere.
And they don't.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.